Greetings everyone, my name is Harshini Venugopal and today I'll be interviewing Madam Pala who works as a HOD at a tour company and she's also my mother. So, Madam Pala, how was the pandemic for you?
Well, positively thinking, it has, we have a lot of time for ourselves and been doing things that I've thought of doing for many years. And of course, you cannot go out, can't meet friends. That is one of the negative sides. Otherwise, you learn to work from home. Yeah.
So, as for your job, how did you feel when you heard about the COVID-19 virus in our country?
At the beginning, I couldn't really believe that this is happening, though I've read about China and I've seen the consequences and how the people there are suffering, but I couldn't believe that it will be in Malaysia.
Okay. Then how did you feel when the government had imposed the MCO in March last year?
Yeah, I thought it would be there for a short while, and I didn't believe that it would go to this extent.
So you weren't prepared for the business, right? Because it happened all of a sudden. So how does the first MCO affected your business?
From the beginning, we have realized that business is going to be down. Travel business is going to be down. We were aware about it, though we were not totally prepared for it. And we didn't know that it would go to this extent.
Okay. So did your business improve after the end of the first MCO?
Yes. There was a rush in booking of tickets for those foreigners who wanted to go back. And there were, even Malaysians, our own subsidiaries, whereby staffs had to rush to go and finish their pending job in other states, and definitely they took tickets. Yes, they bought tickets from us.
Okay,
so there was a boom in business.
That's great to know. So how does it improve your business after the first MCO?
I wouldn't say it's an improvement. It was the normal business flow, and it wasn't a huge amount. It was just a moderate level of sales.
Okay.
It wasn't an extremely
drastic change.
Yeah, drastic change. It was gradually improving.
So what was your reaction towards the imposition of second MCO on the business?
Very unfortunate, I think, and things went down again. The business that was picking up slowly went down again, and this time most probably we were more prepared than the last time.
That's great. So what are the positive and negative impact of this pandemic towards your business?
Yeah, we learned to work from home. That was truly surprising because we managed to do a lot of things from home. Yeah, and of course, the positive side is that we took care of our health. We stayed at home. We had more time to rest. There's no rushing. There's no traffic jams, and most of our staffs were telling us about the good health, the good rest that they had. Though it was a bit boring to stay at home every day.
Yeah.
But when they were working from home, one good thing that I find that not everyone was falling ill, no headaches, no migraines. Everyone was having home cooked food, I presume, and they stayed in comfort. And of course, there were other things like electricity bills from the office. The office bills, which we managed to cut down, the traveling expenses. We even managed to use used papers, which we never thought of doing We send these used used papers. Even to the bosses, we use them because we were drastically, extremely cutting down our expenses. So that's the positive side. The negative side is, of course, the business that went down.
So recently, the daily cases are spiking again. So would you rather choose to have another round of lockdown or not?
I think the lockdown helped us in the beginning. We were very cautious. We followed the SOP strictly. Now there's a decline, I presume, where everyone is taking things lightly. And we should go back, and we should follow this.
What are your suggestions or advice to those who have suffered from the COVID-19?
Thank God, I've never come across anyone that has COVID-19. But I presume that we all have to follow the SOP that the government has implemented. And all the advices from the doctors or from the frontliners, we have to heed them.
Thank you, Madam Pala. So that's all from me, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope you all learned something from this interview.
Hello and a very good morning. My name is Dennis and I am from Foundation in Tesla. I am going to interview Nurul Zakrina Arina binti Zulkifli, a worker at MSUI Center.
Good afternoon, Miss. First of all, I would like to thank you for agreeing to do an interview session with me. So I have several questions for you to answer. It is about your opinion on how does the COVID-19 pandemic affects your business. Alright, so for the first question, how did you feel when you heard about the COVID-19 virus is in our country?
Okay, it's actually quite a shocking for me because I never thought such pandemic actually exists these days, because back then we used to have like Spanish flu, like something like that back in those days, like the ancient time, plague disease and everything. So it somehow feels sort of surreal for me because I actually faced this kind of pandemic and it's considered as one of the worst pandemic ever to have happened in history. So yeah, this one is quite surprising for me, and turns out to be there's a lot of restrictions for us to do. So it really affects not just me but each and every one of us, even the kids. Doesn't matter what gender you are, races, which country, everybody is affected. So yeah.
Thank you, Miss. For the next question, how did you feel when the government imposed the first movement control order in March last year?
Okay, this one is a very interesting question. At first I thought it would be fun to stay at home all the time. But that only lasted for like 2 months, I guess, because nobody can stand with online classes, and at the same time if you were to happen to run a business, everything is affected. You have no customers walking in, everyone's financial is affected. There is no some sort of like system in current market. Like you want to purchase things from customer pun tak ada duit and everything. So yeah lah, dia macam really affected. At first it was fun, but after several times it make us realize that no, this is extremely important and really affects each and every one of us.
Okay. So for the third question, how does the first movement control order affects your business?
Affects my business.
Yes.
If I meant affects my business is MSUI Center, yeah. Well, at first, since MSUI Center is located inside the campus, which means our target population is mostly the staff, and at the same time is the student. So just imagine, you do have a student presented at a particular time, and the staff was instructed to work from home. So you can actually imagine how the situation it is at MSUI Center. Nobody walks in. We still have to pay the bills. We still have to pay the rent. We still have some other machines to take care of, the maintenance fee and everything. So there is no circulation of money going on. So it's kind of frustrating at the first moment. So we were asked to work from home for the first 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, but soon after that, MSUI Center is considered as a part of MSU Medical Center. So we are considered as the primary eye care provider. So that is one of the reasons why MSU Eye Center was allowed to open for business after 2 weeks. After the first 2 weeks, they announced for MCO. So yeah.
For the next question, did your business improved after the movement control order has been lifted?
Obviously, yes.
Obviously.
Especially when it comes to the recent, if I'm not mistaken, MCO 2.0. Okay, so basically there's a lot of patients going in, especially for the new students and also the staff. So many people tend to need glasses due to the pandemic. It's not because of the pandemic, it's actually because of the lifestyle that they have been doing at home. People have been, looking at the laptops, the phones, on the classes, everything. They tend to develop short-sightedness even faster than before. So our sales suddenly shoot up just like that, and it was fun for me, obviously. but still, it was kind of busy moment, but at least it got better.
So for the next question, what is your reaction towards the imposition of the second wave of movement control order?
Sorry, can you explain the question?
How do you feel towards the imposition of the second movement control order?
What does imposition mean?
When the government wants to do the second wave of lockdown.
Oh, second wave.
Yeah.
Oh, right. They want to do the
Yeah.
second bigger wave. I was like, no, not again. I don't want to stay at home. I mean, I feel like, I do love to stay at home, but the thing is, there's a lot of restrictions. I mean, for those who have children, they want to spend time outdoors and everything. So I feel like, oh no, I cannot go shopping anymore. I cannot do the things that how I used to, especially for girls. You wear makeups and then suddenly you have to wear face masks. What for? I mean, you get pimples everywhere. So it was like, oh no. I was like, we should be responsible to whatever things we're doing right now. Right? So no other choice, we have to follow the rules to make the world a better place, right? So that's what I think.
So does the second wave of the lockdown affects your business?
It does affect it a bit, but it does not affect it as much as how it was during the first PKP. Since the second PKP was like, it was supposed to be a PKP,
Yes.
but I think most of us can see that it turns out to be not as much as PKP as we thought it would be. So it doesn't affect that much, but it does affect it a bit, not as much as the first one. That's all.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what is the positive and negative impacts of this pandemic towards your business?
Towards my business. Okay, so the positive thing about this pandemic towards my business is that, let me try to find. Let me talk about the negative factors, okay? But first of all, your profits and everything were affected. You tend to have difficult times to pay for the rent, for the bills and everything. If let's say you have an extra worker, it's really hard for us to pay them as well. And then there's a lot of things going on as well. Mostly it's because of that. On the positive side, I feel like I'm not really sure if this is positive, but many of us have no idea exactly what is optometry. So they always thought that this is an optical shop. The positive side about this pandemic is that there are certain optical shops requested to be open for business. The main reason, it is not just an optical shop. This is an optometry eye center. Optometrist is a primary eye care provider. We can also work as a clinician optometrist in the hospital. So we are responsible to diagnose and also manage eye health among population. So the positive side of this pandemic, I think people tend to realize, optometrists is more than selling spectacles. There are also the health workers in Malaysia. So I think that is one of the positive sides.
Alright. So recently, the daily cases are spiking again, right?
Yeah.
So would you choose to have another round of lockdown or not?
Obviously, people will be like, no, I don't want anything. I don't want any of it. I mean, most of us might be thinking that sampai bila kita nak pakai face mask, right?
Yes.
Even me having difficulties, like I'm not going to wear face mask anymore. The vaccine is here, but the case still spikes up. It's not because of the vaccine actually, it's actually because of the lifestyle. You can see so many people out there wearing face masks, but they don't wear it properly.
Yes.
I mean, it actually comes from our own responsibility. So there's a lot of things that we need to improve, even as a citizen. We don't tend to, please, I would like everyone to stop pointing fingers to others and try to fix this thing by ourselves as well. We need to be responsible. Everyone has their own responsibility. So the least thing that we can do is to follow the SOP. That's all. Of course, I would not agree to do the lockdown kill. I will never agree with that. Everyone will affect it. Even the new students, you tend to have like a new experience here as a new student, right?
Yes.
You want like, oh, dah masuk MSc, oh, I'm a university student right now. But suddenly PKP, go for online classes, kawan pun tak kenal. Come on! Come on guys, you guys should have fun. You guys are the, orang kata asset negara. You need to explore yourself. You need to explore the world. So, in order to do that, you need to prevent yourself from locking yourself down in a house or in a room. You need to go out. But the thing is, something is in your way. That is the pandemic. And the pandemic itself tends to get worse, not because of the virus itself, but because of us. So that is actually quite troublesome.
So for the last question, what are your suggestions or advice to the people who have problems or who are affected with this pandemic?
Affected with this pandemic.
Yes.
Okay. So for those who are affected with this pandemic, I would like to humbly say this to you all that no matter what, we have to be patient in whatever things that we are doing right now. Dalam konteks Islam, we have this kind of phrase, setiap yang berlaku ada hikmah.
Yes.
So memang nak katanya kita tak boleh nak elak. If let's say one particular thing nak jadi, dia akan jadi. Macam dalam Islam kita ada, kalau Allah kata kun fayakun, maka terjadi itu. Kalau dia kata akan aku datangkan bala tu memang akan datang dalam konteks Islam. So from my perspective, it's just tak kira apa jadi, we as a human being, we need to fulfill our responsibility. Follow SOP, redha, sabar dan sama-sama kita cuba selesai.
Good afternoon, my name is Sai Kirtana Rao and today I will be interviewing a logistic business owner. First of all, thank you for doing this interview with me. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rao, Ari Rao, and my company, Byforce Logistics Serjam Berhad. We are doing logistic business past 15 years in Malaysia and Southeast Asia.
I see. Would you like to give a brief introduction about your business?
Yes, we actually falls under essential services as a logistic business. Byforce Logistics, primarily we are doing FMGC, that means fast moving goods, and we are more into delivering food items for such big companies, few companies, and then we also doing pharmaceutical deliveries. So past 15 years we have been distributing food and pharmaceutical nationwide, including Sabah and Sarawak, and also few other countries, our neighbor countries.
That's really good. Okay, so the first question will be, how did you feel when you first heard about COVID-19 virus in our country?
Okay, that pandemic since 2000, it started end of 2019 and 2020, Malaysia we have that impact. With I think it's month of March, 18 March was the first MCO, Movement Control Order. That time everyone was still confused because it's a pandemic and no one has that experience. What makes us prepare is that we was ready for any preparation or any announcement from the government, and since essential services, we are in essential services, and most of the sectors have been closed down, and people have been advised to stay at home. So we have been given the guidelines that we can do the deliveries, food, since we are food, so our deliveries still have to carry on, as frontiers. We are considered as a frontiers as well. So with the guidelines of MITI, Malaysian Industrial Trade, we continue our business.
How does the first MCO affected your business?
The business, even though we falls under essential services, does not impact much, but the impact was there. The impact, I can say, about 30 to 40% impact. Because everyone have to be working from home, so then definitely the productivity is less. But we are still thankful that our business continues. That is, and we feel very responsible that we encourage our drivers and also all our people who are working, who are actually on the road to meet customers and to go warehouses to load and delivery. We have prepared them with the sanitizers and also masks. And the cost of business also have increased tremendously because of all these PPEs, safety PPEs that we have prepared for the drivers.
So was there any improvement to your business that was done?
It's new norm, and which everyone start learning how to actually operate despite the pandemic. And the first few months, I think everyone has become normal. And it's the only thing that sometimes the normal situation is where we have to be more careful, and we always follow up with drivers to be more safe, and they don't take for granted everything is safe. So these are the challenges which we have to personally follow up with the drivers, because when we deal with drivers, everyone is not same. Some are very concerned, some are too concerned and didn't turn up to work. Some they have the responsibility. So these are the challenges we face something new in our industry, logistics industry.
So the next question will be like, how was your reaction when you heard about the second MCO? Was it still the same as before, or was there any impact?
It's since we have prepared in 2020 since March. So nevertheless, this new MCO, we are well prepared. And the mindset of the workers, the drivers, the entire team was there, including of those where we load and we unload goods. The customers are ready, so it's a bit well prepared. Only thing is that the government have allowed office to operate with 30% of management staff, so that is a bit helpful. But we follow all the SOPs that make sure that the business continues without any case of COVID-19.
So did it affect your business badly, or was it still the same?
I won't say it's affected badly, but still the effect is there. But since we already in few months we are already facing this pandemic, I think everyone is well prepared. With the allowance of government to operate office with 30% of management staff, we're still managing. Only challenges we have that some of the companies, some of our customers, most of them are actually working from home, and their management, their top management work from home and all these things. So certain decisions and all these things takes time for them to revert back, and also meetings have been held up. And despite having online meetings, online platform, but the efficiency of the meeting is not as what as we have a meeting expected as we have face to face. But business still goes on, so we hope this pandemic can be over as soon as possible to regain that everything back to normal.
Yeah. So were there any positive impacts after this pandemic towards your business?
Positive impacts, I can say that things are more hygienic. Everyone have a concern about being safe and being hygienic. I can only say that is the only positive thing is happening now. Well, other than that, nothing much. We just hope that this pandemic is over in Malaysia.
So recently, the daily cases are spiking again. Would you rather choose to have another round of lockdown or not?
Oh, definitely no. I mean, lockdown is something which have to be done. Definitely our government or Ministry of Ministry of Health, MOH, they have no choice. But hopefully it will be open up soon. And if everyone is can follow, cooperate and can follow exactly the government's SOPs and the instruction, I think we can fight this pandemic. Otherwise, we're going to still being loose, and this thing going to be continue. Nobody knows until when. Till maybe the vaccination completely done and it's effective. Maybe that's the only way.
So do you have any suggestions or advice to those who have suffered from COVID-19? Or generally any advice to the people out there?
Okay, basically, just my personal advice is that first of all, be safe and always look into opportunities and gain more knowledge. Right, it's the time we can gain more knowledge and health as well, and try something instead of hoping whatever they are doing previously. Try something new and keep moving. That is the thing. What I mean, keep trying something. So if they have to stay home and do something new, now there's a lot of online business, online classes, online trainings. So they have to keep try something to make themselves keep so that they are prepared once the pandemic is over and everyone can move. So at least they are prepared and they can do better after the pandemic.
Alright, so that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I have gained your perspective and gained more knowledge regarding logistics. So really thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much here and for this section and have me here. I hope this is just a small sharing from logistics industry. I believe there's a lot of because logistics is a big scope. We have land transport, we have by sea, by air, cross border, and many more. Warehousing is huge sector. So from my sharing is more to our local distributions via roads. Alright. So I hope this kind of sharings at least everyone knows knowledge and everyone knows what is going on in our industry. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's all for.
Hello everyone, my name is Pajiran Itanseren and I'm currently doing foundation in business. Today I'm going to interview this person.
Hi, my name is Dashni Kanasan. I'm a healthcare assistant and I'm working in KPG.
Okay, thank you for your time. Today I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Okay, my first question is, how did you feel when you heard about the COVID-19 virus is in our country?
Firstly, I thought it was not SARS-1 and I thought it won't kill any one of us until it got worse. I felt very worried about my family, friends and also the people.
The second question of mine is, how did you feel when the government had imposed the MCO in March last year?
I firstly appreciated because people were roaming around that don't bother about their health. Other than that, many of the hospitals not enough capacity of bed in their hospitals because there are a lot of patients admitted due to COVID-19. I appreciated the MCO that was imposed by the government.
My third question is, how does the first MCO affects you?
It affected me mentally and physically. It also gave me restlessness because it's not like previous days. Because the COVID-19, we couldn't go out easily because they had imposed roadblocks everywhere and we worked so hard until we don't even know when is our rest day, and so it makes us workers to feel very exhausted now.
Okay. What is your reaction towards the imposition of the second MCO?
I was amazed to know that they were having second MCO, which really made me feel the government are taking full responsibilities and taking COVID-19 at a serious hand. Yet people were still roaming outside and people took this so lightly that they had no clue how was the condition in the hospital. For example, the bed was full, patient kept dying, and also the hospital equipments reduced like stretchers, ECG machines, patients monitors and anesthesia machine and many more.
Okay. What is the positive and negative impact of this pandemic towards you?
Talking about the positive impact towards me is that it helped me build genuine relationship. We all have been so busy living the life many of us have lost the real ones. Now the COVID-19 situation has positively impacted the way we emote and maintain relationship. We get to spend time with our family and plan our work better. This actually helps us to build our better future for both our family and work. The most importantly, our entire lifestyle changes to practice better hygiene. Other than that, the negative impact towards me is the fear of COVID-19 leads to providence of seeking to go out and leads to stay inside the house, and it increased anxiety level and also leads to unhealthy lifestyle habits.
Okay. Recently, the daily cases are spiking again. Would you rather choose to have another round of lockdown or not?
Definitely yes, because that's when the cases would drastically decrease and also people would realize and also learn how to follow the SOPs.
My last question is, what are your suggestions or advice to those who have suffered from the COVID-19?
First of all, clean your hands often, cough or sneeze in your bent elbow and avoid using your palm, avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth, and also limit social gatherings and limit spending time in crowded places, and avoid close contact with someone who is sick, and if you yourself are sick, stay away from people. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces with your hand sanitizers.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, today I'll be interviewing Mr. Ruben Ravi from JR Palms, Malaysia, Senar Berhad. So hi Mr. Ruben, today I'll be asking you a few questions. So, how did you feel when you first heard of the COVID-19 virus in our country?
When I heard it all over the news, I did feel very worried about the situation because we did have spare parts and machinery coming from Germany. I was also worried as I had customers walking in and out of the workshop.
So Mr. Ruben, for the second question, I would like to ask how did it impact your business when the government first imposed MCO in March last year?
At first, I felt a bit worried about how it will affect my business, and obviously anyone would.
So Mr. Ruben, how did the first MCO affect your business?
Well, it did not do any damages to the company. We somehow managed because our profit has been high for the past 4 years. Therefore, we suppose that stage successful.
So Mr. Ruben, how did your business improve after the first end of the MCO?
It did improve our sales as we had our regular customers that had got spare parts during this time. I had to hack fast to fulfill customers' needs, so I imported a few machines and spare parts to keep my business going on.
That's so Mr. Ruben, how did the first MCO help improve your business?
By doing so, I've made my customer happy. When customers are happy with our service, they always come back. My sales number had gone up tremendously.
So Mr. Ruben, what is your reaction towards the second imposition of MCO in our country?
I know that I will be able to survive second lockdown by the government.
Okay, why is that?
Because we are Malaysian, we never obey the rules. Am I correct or not? Did you follow the SOP?
Did it affect your business majorly?
I successfully saved more before the second wave.
So which means no lah.
No lah.
So Mr. Ruben, what are the positive and negative impacts of the MCO towards your company?
On the bright side, I don't have to worry about the people who work in the workshop. When they work with us, we will provide them with a place to stay. Those my worries were less.
Yeah, because they don't go out and in.
Yeah, they can cook. Can play with my dogs, cats. Yeah, the corona cannot attack my workshop because they stay inside my workshop.
Yeah, true. So, Mr. Ruben, now very frequently the cases are actually spiking up again with their numbers. So, would you choose for a third MCO to happen?
If they need third MCO, so the people can follow the rules. Since the cases are speaking again and they have already implied MCO in our state, therefore our business will be low the time being. But having said that, I still don't have to worry because I still have machines and spare parts from overseas. They will be arriving after this MCO, so I can make up back my business again.
So, Mr. Ruben, what are your suggestions or advice that you can give to other companies out there who are suffering from this MCO?
Don't worry, guys. Okay, I like to share a way to overcome the MCO period. The key point here is that you can set a goal for the company. By the end each month, strictly follow this pattern. The reason I suggest this method is because from here you will be able to save more.
Because you know what's coming in and what's going out.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Ruben, for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you. Welcome.